That's not halal.
Oh, Joe's here! It's draft time, Jay!
You can hate me now, smoking loud with my gun. He like spray me now. Hey, hey, I'm in this shit way deep down. You with the ops, pull up on you, get the spray rounds.
Takes a
Choose
fucking while.
the absolute worst players I possibly can.
Tuberville!
You have to, okay. When you're on the app, you have to hit the football.
Pictures, Wreck-It Ralph.
I'm at the football.
Wreck-It Ralph.
What are you talking about?
yeah.
I don't see join draft. I don't see join draft. I guess I'm gonna. I don't see join
guess
draft. I don't see join draft.
Listen, are you on
I don't see join draft. 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 What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
You're not in.
Okay, how do I join? How do I join?
Restart.
How do I join? 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 How do
Can
I
you
join? How do I
shut
join?
up, you
How do I
fucking
join?
troll? I'm trying to tell you if you'd be fucking quiet.
It's a fucking Disney account. Why did it say it's a Disney account?
Carson, you got a minute and 50
He's got a
seconds.
Disney account! He
Okay.
signed up with Disney Plus!
Can I pause?
Fucking
you?
right.
No, I didn't.
Right now I'm
down.
looking at Jamichael Hasty.
No, Jay, I have a great idea. Get Josh.
We're drafting Jamichael.
It's a sleeper pick.
He's not gonna
It's a-
play at all.
it's
He's
a
never
sleeper
gonna play.
pick.
He's not gonna get a point ever.
Wait, did I pick the wrong person? I picked the wrong
Miles
person.
Sanders! Miles Sanders! He's not even playing this week. He picked Geo Webb the third. Why?
Why?
Who the fuck is Joe Webb? Who the fuck is Joe Webb the third?
Is he like a backup quarterback?
We have a minute left.
Why are we playing? On Rainbow that we're drafting!
Okay,
Can you stop
just play for
freaking
one
the
round.
fuck out?
Like, we're literally
I just
Shut the
playing.
hell up.
J Webb's is literally picking people that aren't even on NFL teams. Like, they're not even gonna.
They're never
play-
gonna
Yes,
touch the
Jay, I
ball.
gotta
Like,
win.
he's
I gotta
gonna
try
have
to
My
win.
wide receiver's injured for the whole season.
Like, he's like. He
Hey,
somebody
hey,
like
hey.
The
Fucking
kicker I'm
hide
looking
you.
at, he's like 50.
Dude, what did you want me to do?
He was ready for that one. He was ready for Le'Veon Bell. This fucking team! What kicker are you driving again? Is he
Oh.
45?
I already got him. It's Phil Dawson.
Yo,
I had to
and
get
now
him
we're about to
early
be down
before everybody
4
else
fucking
go.
three. Joffa, can you turn that down at least? Like, what are you even watching? What is that?
Some Davy Crockett.
You're watching a little Mr. Beast. Okay, I can get behind that.
I'm Jacob. I have Tom Brady benched.
J Lewis has Lil Jordan on 3.
Who is Roosevelt Nix? Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Jake Rudock, he's gonna pop off, and you're gonna eat his words.
Dude. Connor, ready up.
Fucking Quincy out of Boyeo.
He's been the whole season.
Oh my god.
Fucking Roosevelt.
Oh my
Nix.
god.
Who does he play for? Jaleel Scott, baby. He's got that far in his eyes too, actually. I just looked at him. He's looking at me different than the rest.
Little passer? Now set me up, Connor.
Alright, we all have to do something fucking crazy if J-Wubs ends up winning. Like, we have to do
Dude.
something absolutely ridiculous.
You
off
understand
our-
that
off-
that's literally impossible. I play Jay. I already have 15 points. See how many points Jay has predicted. 6.9.
Oh my god. I had a boy, Joe.
Open goal.
I just imagine him on the field with broken
I'm trying
legs. Greg
Snapped in
Jr.
half.
Also-
They're gonna close on him. They're gonna snap his sternum in half on the field.
No one else is gonna know. I did this as a joke. You're gonna think I'm stupid.
Dude, look at your team.
Magnificent, aren't they?
The fucking.
Why did Braden sleep till 5 o'clock in the morning last night? He sent me his workout plan. Did you hear it? Romanian DL. DB bench press. 66 shrugs.
So in mythology, we had to do a creation myth project. Some girl did the Islamic creation myth. She said, before everything, there was Allah. Allah means one. First thing he built was his throne. Then he built angels to hold up his throne and carry him. Then he created his pen and tablet. And what he wrote on that tablet for 50 years is the linear time of what actually happens in the real world. I wonder what that fucking tablet says.
Jacob and Connor, shit.
Dude, imagine the amount of times it says Connor clogs the toilet.
Every time, like, I miss a homework grade assignment, it just says Jacob Weld. Jacob Army. Jacob Weld. On an open book test, like welding.
Yeah. I mean, you just cheat. It's pretty easy.
I mean, what's it called? You remember it was the same way in construction. People used to fail those.
Yeah. You want to know why, Jacob? We're not in a environment, you know, that
where thinking is involved.
Yeah.
That's why they used to call us Einsteins in construction.
We simplified a fraction, and they thought that was a crazy.
That is true. We brought it from an improper to a mixed fraction, and they went crazy. I went up to the board, explained some problem, and this kid, he wore the same 3 shirts every single fucking day. And he said, "Looks like we got Einstein going to the board."
Yeah, and the girl who was in senior year for 3 years in a row laughed.
Dude, I remember when I saw her on the bus, she came up to me and said, "Good job in that hammering competition today." And I was like, "Please don't say that out loud." Like, man, you wouldn't believe who I saw when I was leaving school today. Countryman parked in his truck. He almost got in a fight with other countryman today.
Yeah, because he stole his dip can.
Yes, it was literally, that is exactly what happened. I remember we were on the bus and he said, "Hey, what's that kid's name that I dip with? I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. When I see him, I'm clocking him right then and there."
You know that song I imagine when I hear that, when I see that picture?
Yeah, that right there.
Sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside game.
What is that one? I cheated back, cheated back, cheated back, cheated back.
How did you know? Don't take no shit. Cheated back, cheated back, cheated back, shit.
Shit. Yeah, you guys should keep on playing all these songs. I literally have them all memorized from Cracker Barrel, dude.
You know what? Fuck it. It's time, dude. It's time to get into country music.
You know who you need to hit up, Jacob? My
Who?
fucking dad, baby.
Oh my god. What was
He
that?
is real
Hurricane,
country.
shit, spit, smoke, fucking weed, Sunday, or whatever it said. All I remember, we're in the car, dude. I'm sitting in the front seat, Joe. Connor's in the back seat of his dad's car. And we're going over a bridge. There's a massive sunset and birds flying. It's like literally a movie scene. And all I hear is something, smoking hurricane or something like that. And Connor's dad go, "Wah! Wah!"
He was talking about country music, and Braden goes, "Oh yeah, country like Dirt Road Anthem by Jason Aldean." And my dad goes, "What the hell are you talking about, son?" 8 seconds, baby. Come on, bring them out, bring them out. They're gonna come out in wheelchairs.
They were fighting in the back. We
They put us on a commercial.
Donald Trump put Joe in a full Nelson. We couldn't remove him.
It's like he's in a horrible wedgie. We're just gonna leave him this way. Like there's nothing we can do.
What if they start brawling, like on the stage?
Trump pulls out a gun and says, "You get what you deserve."
Yeah, Joe looks a little tired, guys. But
nominated
the
report.
page. Joe, what do you think about Donald Trump just now saying the N-word live on the debate?
My first question to both
Fucking story.
why are you right?
Joe, it's actually judicial.
Joe just thought of a joke from 1949.
This
Did
is
Trump just
it
call
is fucking
Biden a
as well.
racist?
racist and he's xenophobic. We should
Tables have turned.
Oh fuck! They didn't know how to respond to this.
You wanna go to that
God.
Yu-Gi-Oh
Do you guys
tournament?
wanna
We should buy Jacob a starter deck and tell him none of the rules, and he goes in there and he has to play someone. This guy, he's won multiple tournaments in Tokyo. He's crazy. This gay kid next to me in my history class was watching League of Legends.
There was this kid in my computer class in Georgia. He did absolutely nothing. He had like a 0 in the class. He would just sit on the League of Legends wiki all day and just look at it.
reading the new
He just reads lore.
Something I would do with Naruto Blazing in like freshman year. I remember I got an iPad when I was younger, and then like I got it taken away, and I still don't have it.
Jake on the top of my screen, Snapchat video. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he calling me? So I answer, Jacob, what do you want? And it switches your name from Jake to Papaw. I'm like, what the fuck? Jay, go look at your My Games and Apps. No, go look at your gifts. How you do that?
My gifts? You gifted me
Yeah,
something?
your gift.
You did it.
Message from Xbox. Conrad has sent you a gift. Shotgun Farmers is waiting for you.
Full metal, I side with it, though, okay. Pills, please, what you want, I got what you don't, ayy. Ferragamo, Monte Carlo, yeah, make us swallow.
Okay, J-Wo's good. Connor does his thing. I'll go military. Braden does whatever he needs to do, and then we all meet back up in Texas. I thought you were shit button in military with me and Braden.
Not if not if I can do college.
You can do college. Connor guaranteed with the military for free.
No, I'm not putting my life on the line, baby.
What do you mean your life's on the
don't have
line,
to put
dude?
your
We're not
life
going
on
to
the
war
line.
anytime soon.
Yeah, well, Jacob,
when you
get the call, and they say you're getting deployed to fucking Afghanistan.
You guys act like I care to
You-
get deployed.
No, listen,
Free weight cutting.
listen. Your entire fucking troop is gonna die, and it's gonna be you and Brandon.
No.
I can imagine. Jacob's leg gets fucking blown off. He's sitting there. Braden's dying. Like he's he's laying against the wall. His gun is across his chest. He's literally dying. Blood is pouring out of his mouth. He's like reaching out to Jacob for help. Jacob's leg is gone. He's crawling. Jacob's crawling away. The Taliban's running in to finish Jacob off. Jacob just holds his gun up. He just fights for glory, baby. Fights for fucking glory.
No, I'll tell you what's gonna happen, dude. It's not that complicated. Me and Braden, routine checkup, right? Boom! Our Taliban, our convoy, blowing up. Car behind us and in front of us. Mine and Braden's just like broken. They kind of miss. We get out the car, like, oh my god, we're in the trench. We're sitting there like, airstrike, airstrike. We tell them the coordinates. It glitches. Braden says, it sounds like Braden says the coordinate. Boom, bomb coming down on us. I'm like, Braden, get cover, get cover. Braden in half. Me sitting there, dazed, shrapnel all in my chest, my heart on the verge of explosion. I'm like, oh my god, Braden. I pass out. I wake up, cave in Yemen, right? There's a Uzbekistani man sitting there over me, the doctor. He goes, I saved your life. And I look over, car battery attached to me. I'm like, what is this? He goes, electromagnetic pulse. It's pulling the metal out of the shrapnel out of your heart. If it disconnects you in 1 second, you're dead instantly. I'm like, oh my god. And so I sit there and I think, and you got I think I became the head military director, weapons, and then out of nowhere, big boss man, top brass walks in the cave, and then so the guy who's with me, his name is Jensen, right? That's what I'm gonna name him. The guy that saved my life. He goes there, he says, stand up. I had to stand up. The battery almost comes out. I go, whoa. He helps me, right? Me and Jensen are sitting there, and I'm like, who is this guy? He goes, it's top brass. He says, so he goes, are you Jacob Cow? And I go, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah. He goes, for me, you will build the best bomb we've ever seen. If you don't, I kill you and your entire family. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what do I do? And then I agreed to it. I'm like, okay, I guess I will, because they threatened to kill Jensen too. I'm like, I can't let this guy nearly die. I'm like, oh my god. So we're sitting there. They leave the cave. I'm like, all right, let's get to work. I say, I'm gonna need these materials. I'll lay them all out. I'm sitting there. As I'm building, I started building a little separate device. It looks a little different. Boom, nowhere. Arc reactor, baby. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, I've done it in a cave. See, I did it with the military beforehand. It was just a vanity project. It made us look good, free energy, right? And we're sitting there. And me and Jensen, I finally tell him the plan. I say, I'm doing it. I'm building the first super suit. This is gonna power it all. Me and Jensen are sitting there. He goes, okay, I know how to do this. We set it up. This guy comes back and he goes, this is not Jericho Miskell. This is not what we wanted. I'm like, trust me, this is it. Trust me. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, we're gonna finish this. 2 weeks later, we have it ready. And then we're building it. Boom, we rigged the bomb with the door with the bomb, trip bar. They walk in, door blows off. They sit there, and we're like, okay, Jensen, let's get to this. He welds the suit together. We're doing it. We're sitting there. We're in the final preparation. I lay the arc reactor, replace the car battery with the arc reactor in my heart. It's pulling it away. That thing malfunctions once I'm dead, remember. And finally, I get the suit on with minimal time left. Jensen's downloading the program to finally get the suit ready to go. He runs out into the cave because the door's already been tripped. 2 Taliban soldiers came in. They exploded, died. Jensen has to go defend me. He has the AK in his hand. He runs out there. Crowd. 10 Yemenis sitting there ready to kill him. He runs back to me. He goes, Jacob. and then boom, shot in the back of the head. And that's when I jump out with the suit, ground crack under me. It's so hard. I jump out, I literally destroy all 2 of them. And I walk out of there, and I see Big Boss, and I look at him, and I shoot him right there, right then and there with the flamethrower. And then I pull the trigger, fly off into the desert. I land, I walk for a few days stranded. Boom, search party finds me, military. I'm back home, baby. Jacob Cow's back. But Yinsen didn't make it. But I brought the super suit technology with me. And I was sitting there, right? But the thing is, after that search party finds me a few days later, the Taliban, the Yemenis, they find my suit in the desert, the remnants of it, and they're thinking, we gotta build one of these ourselves. So I go back, the senior head director of the military program, the weapons program that I was the SMED scientist for, he's talking to me like, how'd you do it? What'd you do? I'm like, arc reactor, blah, tell him all about that. And I go back, I announce at a press conference, I say, I'm no longer providing weapons for the U.S. military. It's a surprise. I made the biggest advancement, to any U.S. military ever. And I've advanced this the most out of any military ever in the scientific weapons department. And they're sitting there like, this is crazy. What is he going to do? And then I go home, right? I say, I'm done. I've done my 4 years. I'm out of here. I go home, boom, developing super suit further than I ever could go on. I'm sitting there, I'm building it, prototype after prototype, day after day. And I finally get it down. I'm sitting there, I'm flying over downtown, baby. They see me, they pick me up on the radar. Like, what's going on? And then, they lose me for that day. They're like, we don't know what that was. And I have a buddy in the military. His name, Braden. Actually, not Braden, Connor. His name is Connor. Connor's in the military with me. Braden's dead, I forget. Me and Connor sitting there. He called me, he goes, so you gonna tell me what that thing was on the radar? I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I hang up. Connor's like, he knows. He knows in his head. And I was sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting revenge for Yinsen. I fought all the way back to the Middle East in my brand new super suit. I was sitting there, I fly back to the camp. I see Top Brass. He's still alive, just burnt. And I think, okay, this is it. I'm showing the real technology of the super suit now. Advanced 10 times laser tracking. I kill all 10 soldiers holding the village at gunpoint, and I leave out of there. As I'm flying out, I get a detection on my thing. 2 F-15s behind me, and I get a warning. And it cuts to the military base, right? You're sitting there, Connor. You're like, all right, what is this? What do we got here? This unidentified buggy. We don't know what it is. Super small though. And you're like, oh god. And you're sitting there, you're thinking, and you realize that's when you give me a call. You say, hey, Jacob, where are you right now? And I'm like, you can hear the wind in the speaker because I'm in the air, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm at home right now. He goes, really? Doesn't sound like it. You know anything about this unidentified bogey over the Middle East right now? And I'm like, that is not me. Trust me, whatever you say, that is not me. And I'm like, okay. You're like, okay, whatever. And I hang up on you. You're like, oh, God. And then you're like, you know what? Fire on him. It's okay, open fire. Because you're like, you have to take the risk. You served the country before me. You open fire. Boom. I attach to the jet wing. And you're like, where'd he go? They're like, where'd he go? We don't see him. Jet wing turns on the side. Other pilot sees it. He goes, hey, on your wing. He ejects out. Boom. Plane destroyed. Other one. I'm flying in the air still. This other jet sees me. I outrun it. I have to shoot the wing off. He ejects. They're both safe. And then Connor realizes. He goes, we just been outplayed by Jacob Cow. That's when I fly back home. And, God, I'm running out of breath. I'm sitting there. And I find out. I get another call from my old boss at my ex-military program. His name's Jay Webbs. He's a head scientist for he's the, weapons directory of the military. And I'm sitting there, and he gives me a call. He goes, we need to know what you did with the arc reactor in that cave. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And they're like, you need to know. And then it cuts Jay Webbs. Jay is arguing with the scientist. I don't know this yet, but Jay is arguing with his scientist. He goes, Jacob Cow built this in a cave, and you guys can't build this in the best labs in California, or Tennessee, sorry, we're not in California. And they go, we're trying everything we can, but we just can't scale it down to the level, because the original arc reactor is big. Like, we don't know what we're doing. Boom. They get it. Because this guy, you gotta think, Jay Webbs conspired with the Yemens in the ones that killed Yinsen, Top Brass, because he was providing them with the weapons that I made. The biggest bomb, he wanted the technology for himself, because I hadn't given it to the U.S. military yet. They just knew I had it, right? I was sitting there, and I'm like, it's the biggest twist. And they're like, oh, I'm like, you find out that Jay Webbs is conspiring with them. And he's the one that got me captured and got the airstrike on me in the convoy at the beginning, where my best buddy Braden died. It's all J-Webs. And he's sitting there, and remember when they found my suit in the desert? Boom, they know how to make the arc reactor now. And now they're sitting there, they have it on them, and this guy, J-Webs, he starts building it for himself. They finally get the prototype, and we're sitting there. And after I've cut my contract finally with the military after I said I was gonna leave, and J-Webs finally has this suit done, and then they threatened to kill me because I had a more powerful arc reactor than they did. Because the one in my chest, keeping that shrapnel in my heart. I have a more powerful one than them. J-Webs comes to my house, acts like he wants to have dinner with me. Boom, knocks me out, rips out my arc reactor, and I'm sitting there. I'm on the verge of death. Boom, my girlfriend. Boom, surprise. What can I say? Comes in. She's like, oh my god. I say, downstairs, the old arc reactor, the original prototype. I put it in me. It goes in my heart. Boom, I'm powered up again, baby. Shoot, it's only at 50% capacity. And I fly downtown to, downtown. I'm like, J-Webs, give me the damn suit. Give me the old arc reactor. And then out of nowhere, boom, out of the shadows, J-Webs comes out. His own suit. It's 15 feet tall. It's way bigger than my suit is. More powerful than my suit is. But it can't fly like my suit does. Yeah, I'm sitting there. I say, we're taking this battle to the skies. We go up. My suit is so small that when we get too high up in the air, the altitude, our metal starts to freeze because the water vapor in the air, right? But mine is small enough, and I have enough movement, I can pull the parachute launcher, and I can break all the ice off of me. J-Webs, however, falls to the ground. He's sitting there. His thing is so damaged. We land down on the ground. We're fighting it out. We end up back on top of the building above the original arc reactor. Remember the big one that I made for my company? And we're sitting there, and we're over it. And I'm like, my communications on my Iron Man suit gun, my aiming system, and I just have to freehand it. I pull out the rocket manually. I aim it, let go on J-Webs, hit him in the chest. That's the final blow. I have to run up. I push him straight over the arc reactor. Arc reactor blows up, and I win the fucking fight. And then I call Connor. I give Connor a call. I say, what do you think about this? I'm going to reveal to the world that I'm fucking Iron Man. Everybody's like, oh, shit. And I'm sitting there. I tell the whole world,